Ladies and gentlemen, how you all doing? This is Con Ulrich.
And I'm Mangru, low, low, low.
And folks, today I am here with the birthday boy from the north on Carpet Duelist, bringing you another replay from the New Year's tournament from SD44. Yes, that's right. By the time we are casting this, this is in fact Rangu's birthday, so, show him some love over there, please. In the meantime, Rang, who do we have? What are they bringing to the fore?
On left hand side in the blue, we have Dindomir playing the 3rd Canadians. And on the right hand side in the red, we have a Oneill playing the 2nd Panzer Division.
Indeed. So, of course, we have 52-48 already. A very early start off. Remember that location is far more important here. As you can also see from really our deck kind of loadouts, 3rd Canadian, if you guys recall, super heavy rifle spam. Massive amounts of rifle spam. What do we expect in the 2nd?
Pretty classic 2nd, high veterancy, very effective units just due to the veterancy. You could use the Panzer IVs and pretty decent infantry, all things considering. Basically, a pretty interesting matchup and a pretty interesting map. Carpet Duelist has always been weird because of just how open it is, and it's really going to come down to that good 1.2 kilometer range weaponry. As you're seeing up north here, the Pack 40 is getting some good hits, knocking out a hippity hoppity kangaroo. I feel like, yeah, the Canadians don't really get any 1.2 kilometer AT till B phase at least for Fireflies and that potential 17 pounders. So, yeah, that should be a little bit difficult for him.
It'll be a little bit difficult, but at the same time, I almost kind of like having these Vickers very ferociously being pushed out in the center part of the map. Not for nothing, but it's going to set a base of fire that's going to mean going across any kind of open ground nearly impossible.
Yeah, and they're definitely going to be much more effective than just your regular rifle Bren machine guns at longer range. On a map like this with so much open ground, you can definitely make good work of those medium machine guns.
Very, very true. I can also kind of like have these 250 Z8s moving on in. No, these guys right here, was that I can't think of it, was 75 mil? 37, okay. So 75 mil short barrel cannons, so those things acting like kind of those almost assault gunny kind of ideas. Problem, of course, will be these 6-pounders and that Ram 2 kind of holding down the center part of the map.
Yeah, but Ram 2 is such a tough customer to deal with its pretty
Sure.
heavy armor and also a good gun because it does have that. Yeah, it does have a 6-pounder, which means it has a rather nice or decentish rate of fire. I forgot this is an SD2, right? It has 12 rounds a minute, but nonetheless, it seems like Galileo is really just gearing to push down to Alpha with a bunch of 250 /8s and just using that one spar troop. Not much infantry, but hey, you don't really need much infantry on a map like this.
Well, and that's the major thing, isn't it? Ooh, super early Typhoon coming on in, and this is going to cause a bit of hassle, and I'm going to put that rather mildly, as a P4 doesn't have a whole lot to do to stave this off. He's just hoping to get that 6-pounder before he does.
Gets a very good hit on the Panzer IV, forcing him to fall back, but yeah, now would be a time to bring in that Ram 2 to try to knock out some of the light armor as the Panzer IV is bugging off.
Doesn't the Ram 2 have, doesn't it have stabilizers?
I don't believe so. Because it's a weird Canadian tank. Don't know if they bothered out. I actually have no idea if they bothered to put stabilizers on it. I'm gonna guess not.
Snowshoes, on the other hand, yeah, they're all over those, but fair enough. Looking up to the north, of course, we do have Leo Major just kind of sitting back and hoping that this rifle squad under Kennedy is going to do some actually kind of fighting. Now, unfortunately, if someone's named the Americas, know what's going to happen to him eventually, and it seems to be happening quite severely already.
Yeah. Yeah, you just getting pinned down the Panzergrenadier at least, but a Pank 40, this is a high explosive support platform, it's going to be a huge pain in the ass to deal with. And the 6-pounder can't really get into a position to try and deal with that, where he could move a little bit to try and cover that half track. Oh, yeah.
The intriguing thing about these two divisions matching up is that their A phases are so minimal, but when you get to the B phase, man, that 2nd Panzer really kind of takes off here.
Yeah, I mean, as we're seeing, both sides really don't have that much on the field. It's just small skirmishing across the airfield, a slight advantage to Dindomir. But it's, I mean, for B phase, of course, 2nd Panzer is absolutely nutty. So maybe we'll see something, well, absolutely nutty from him. Because Oneill is having very good momentum down south, pinning down his last rifle squad, and that's, well, there's nothing really left behind him apart from some reinforcements hurriedly being brought in.
Yeah, and I guess the question kind of is, will the Lloyd carrier get brought out before or after he gets to the position? I don't see him making it all the way to the front. I see him by necessity having to
Oh yeah.
drop off early and then hoof it forward.
Yeah, he may want to try and think about unloading now. That current position by the hedgerow is a pretty good defensive spot. And he's just going to go down the road and get blasted.
Well, I don't know about that. The 250 Mark 8s over here are going to be spending an awful lot of time dueling with this Ram 2, and it's going to be an awfully one-sided duel for that matter.
Oh, here comes the Panzer IV. I think it's just trying to bring in a 6-pounder roll. The enemy units are being distracted by the Ram.
Well, he's probably going to get a half-track kill at least immediately.
Yeah.
I always kind of forgot the whole kind of weird sequence for them. One thing as well, though, that we actually kind of have to acknowledge here is the fact that there's very little AT on the infantry over here for Oneill, especially early on.
Yeah, it's pretty bare bones in Panzerfaust's department. Fortunately, not too terrible in this sort of matchup, as there's no real tanks to get close to you. Up north, the 6-pounder did go down here. Oneill does have an opportunity to push, but there's still a sniper, but with the 250/1, give machine gun support, that shouldn't be too much of an issue. I feel like Dindomir is starting to rupture a little bit into these last few minutes of A phase. I don't think he has too, I mean, it's really just all coming down to the Ram too.
Yeah, I mean, it's coming down to something. I do like actually having this Flak 38 and this Gepard down here to the south. Not for nothing, but it is worth seeing that anti-infantry kind of platforms being set up here.
Yep, and 2nd Panzer does have the very cool bonus of having the Gepard tow in the Flak 20mm.
Yes.
So it's a good, like, 2-for-1 bonus in terms of availability.
Now, the unfortunate thing is that he called it into the south, which of course mid to north, I was like, aha, the north shall rise again, and thus there was much wailing and gnashing of teeth.
Oh.
Also, we're having a slap fight down to the south between a half-track and a Lynx. And the rest of the animal kingdom is getting involved as well, with the kangaroo also firing on them now.
Yeah. Yeah. It feels like Dindomir's been not doing all that groovy in this A phase, but he is actually ups in terms of points, which is quite surprising. It feels like Gao does have the powerful weapons on the field, but Dindo is just managing to hold onto his ground.
Not for nothing, though, that was always seemed to be the kind of standard thing, though, for the Canadians. The Canadians are desperate to take territory early on. They want to go and kind of bite and hold, because so much of their equipment tends to kind of drop off as the game goes later and later.
Yeah. Yeah, Oneill getting a pretty gnarly tank force here down south, bringing the Panzer III leader to buff up his Panzer IVs. And yeah, that's like a pretty good force with the 250/8, getting some very good hits on the Ram. So this is going to be a pretty nasty thing to deal with heading into B phase.
That assumes, of course, that the 6-pounder doesn't take out everything and anything, because that last half-track has now gone down. And yes, there's a Gepard down to the south, don't get me wrong. But he still don't see a whole lot.
Yeah. Up north, Oneill getting a bit aggressive with the Pak 40 here, actually moving it across the airfield. Trying to make some territory, but it's really going to come down to the Panzer Grenadiers slow. Actually, no, I think the half-track can rush in and finish some stuff off.
I'd be mildly amused if Leo Majors goes down because of an AT gun. He's not going to, apparently, but it'd be really amusing.
It's a lot of fire. Holy crap.
Yeah, say old One Eye's going to go down here, I think, from machine gun fire.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, down south, 20 mils. Suppression. Dindomir's positions here. I do like how I've got the Panzer Grenadier behind enemy lines. He's He's probably not in his most favourable position yet, but if he does manage to suppress the kangaroo now, he should be able to capture a bit of front line.
But the kangaroo doesn't even know that he's got a hunter out there.
And thankfully the Panther doesn't have Panther Faust.
Yes, and that was the other thing I was going to add on in there as well. But we do actually have a pack track coming on in with the P-Shrek squad, which I do like seeing.
Yeah.
One thing I'm actually surprised we didn't see here earlier was that Dindomir, of course, does have those, was it 120? Oh, no, 120s. 25 pounders. But 25 pounders didn't really get themselves now. I am surprised at that, but at the same time, I'm almost kind of disappointed is the wrong word.
Yeah.
I expected them earlier, I suppose.
Yeah. I'm very surprised he's not just using Sextons. Usually,
yes, that's true too.
Yeah, because usually when I used to play Fed Canadian, I just skip the 25 pounds and just go straight to the self-propelled guns. And Sextons are so goddamn good in SD44, man.
No, wait, sorry. Are we talking about the right level of clergy, or do you mean priests? No, I'm dead serious.
No, Sextons. They have Sextons. In SD44, Canadians have Sextons, but in SD2 they have priests, which makes it very confusing. Yeah.
I'm rolling back the tape here. I'm looking at the deck right now.
Is it priests?
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. I'm an idiot.
It's the Church of England over here, man. We don't worry about those stupid sextons, those deacons and stuff like that. No, I was just curious. Down up to the north, shockingly enough, this Typhoon has come in to save the day. And that poor pack is just getting shellacked by 50 cals. Even more amusing is the fact that this Vickers and Leo Major are somehow still alive, despite the fact that he has just been attacked by multiple waves of infantry.
Yeah,
but okay.
Just holding the north really well. The entire Panzer Grenadier force have been pushed back for now. 25 pounders trying to shell the just trying to sell the half track thrower. But yeah, Leo Major finally does go down to an anti-tank gun half track, which is very anemic in the high explosives department.
Yeah, blind squirrel, acorn, something like that, right?
Yeah. But down south, Galileo has managed to nab a good amount of territory and getting that slow but sure +1 point advantage.
Well, and even more so, he's been able to take out another 6-pounder. And while there's, what, 6-pounders, Wolverines, Achilles, 17-pounders, a lot of junk going on here. Quite expensive, and it's still really, really difficult to hoof one of those things in from the back lines.
Yeah.
Well, we're seeing the flak 20 mil being brought on forwards to start kind of putting some fire down on to the 6-pounder that survived. The thing goes down. Sherman to go and get its own kind of licks in on 66, but yeah, the third's line's looking actually rather thin.
Yeah, they really do not have much on the field. He really just spent the last 2 investment ticks getting these Shermans, so they're really gonna have to pay off. I mean, down south, it's only 1 P4 and 1 P3, so it's not super scary, but still, with only a single Sherman, it's not the safest move. We got a rest being brought in, which will definitely help out in maybe discount a battery in a 25 pound or more than anything. I feel like the Northern Sherman here is going to run into that Pack 40, and that will not be good for its health.
Probably not. Now, the one thing I was noticing over here, the P3 really is a blade of armor for the P4. Yes, there's the whole thing of having the veterancy, but the P3 is there just to look pretty and to kind of shout at them.
Yeah. Better for the Honestly, it's better for the P3 to get shot at than the P4.
Yep.
All about the big gun. And the P3 has a not so big gun.
I'm also a little confused by this Tripolston call in the middle of the map. I mean, I love the gutsiness of it, but I'm not sure I like that very much.
Yeah, I mean, there's no enemy aircraft to worry about right now. He really needs, infantry and frontline units to hold. That's not the best call, I think. He's bringing in a Wolverine down south, which is definitely a good call, because he can outrange a Panzer IV and Panzer III of that. I forgot, Canadians do get Wolverines, and they are, not bad units at all.
Dude, Hugh Jackman, man. They definitely get that.
Mm-hmm.
Pack 40 takes a shot at the Sherman up north. Doesn't quite hit it, but there's what's that coming in here now? Is that another Pack 40 coming in? It's gotta be. Another Pack 40
Yeah,
to the north.
it's another Pack 40. It's going to be a Pack 40 party con.
That is not going to be an ideal situation, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the question is, P-Shrek is kind of trying to creep on in on this tank. I don't think he's going to get close enough because the second he gets seen, he's going to be obliterated by the Tripolston.
Yeah, and he got a second. What is he doing? Why is he getting a second Tripolston? I understand wanting to have anti-air before enemy airplanes come out, but you really must realize he needs like proper frontline units. Like he needs some infantry down south, some anti-tank guns. He can really. I feel like he could pull this back. Like he's not going great with the +2 disadvantage Trojan, but get some infantry in at Northern Factory to secure it. Some infantry down south to capture some territory. Use the Wolverine to blow some stuff up. He did lose the Sherman, but well, he still has a Wolverine.
True. I think for me, and we've talked about this we kind of alluded to it early on in terms of Carpaget duelists, a really good kind of solid setup is push the flanks. I mean, that was the SD thing. You pick a flank and you kind of nip at it and nip at it and nip at it until things crack loose.
Yeah.
That was the big play. And we're definitely seeing it over here from Gallo Oneill quite a bit. I honestly forgot how good spot troops actually were too. Good gun.
Mm-hmm. Like, not bad, because even just one MG42 can do a decent amount of damage on a C-44.
Almost as a Sturm Grenadiers. Oh yeah, that. Oh my God, I forgot this was the MP44 division.
Yeah. We got a recon.
Totally
We got the
forgot about that.
Recon Panther down south. Absolute classic. It wouldn't be a Eugene Systems game if the Recon tab was slowly like meta creeped.
That's okay. We also have the Focke-Wulf up north with the rockets. The rockets which were like, I'm gonna make you scared, but I'm not gonna kill you.
And now it's really not looking good for Dindo. I mean, down south, he just managed to knock out the Wolverine, but the Panther's really just gonna hamper the party here.
Well, shocking decision to have the Focke-Wulf go after the Tripolston. That was a little bit nutty as well.
Rockets should have definitely blew him up, but yeah. Pack 40, one Pack 40 does go down up north.
Yeah, but that was the limping one who didn't have a whole lot of ammo left anyway. So
yeah, and the Wolverine down south does go down, and yeah, he only has the Panther got him, and all he has.
I turned away 1 second. And honestly, I think that was probably about. Even going into C, if you think back to what we had over here for the decks, at that point, more P4s, more Panthers, more Grenadiers. It's an uphill battle for a lot of the Canadian material. It's an uphill battle, but I think it probably could have been played a little bit differently there.
Yeah, yeah, he really just needed some more better defensive units during that like mid or B phase. Like those trade posts and investments are really not worthwhile.
Well, looking at kills and losses over here, 500-point difference, which looks surprisingly meager. I felt like things were dying a little bit more often than that. Looking at the kills, Canadians being very gentle and gentlemanly, kind of spreading the kills around quite a bit. Meanwhile, over here we have Axel slashing through 1, 2, 3 vehicles, a couple of infantry squads. Really, outside of that, I mean, most things. For some reason, I've read that as the Vest got killed by the Vickers machine gun. That made no sense. Most things at least traded equally.
Yeah. Yeah, the 250 0/8 got like a decent amount of kills overall. But you just managed to get like good territory down south and put on the pressure.
Mm-hmm. Very true.
Yeah, B-phase second Panther is a very scary thing.
That is also very true. We didn't even see the hero unit as well with Ramst. But regardless, it is kind of nice to see an old friend back in the battle space.
Yeah.
So, any final thoughts for our great viewers out there, Rang?
None whatsoever.
Well, in that case then, folks, we are going to come back with you with another match from the New Year's SD44 tournament over here on Thursday. So definitely do swing by to check it out. But until next time, I'm Con Ulrich.
I'm Rangaroo. Take it easy. Could I get an audio test, please, Mr. Khan of Ulrich?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, you winter Brit. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.